Hello, everybody. Today I'm talking about Rahu in Bharani Nakshatra. Bharani is entirely in Aries, and Rahu will be in Bharani from 13th of June right up to 20th February 2023. Let us explore. Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton, and we are talking Rahu in Bharani. Do remember to subscribe, press the bell notification. Now, Rahu in Bharani went on 13th of June and will remain there till 20th of February 2023. This is almost a 8-month transit. One thing to remember is that the dates I'm giving you are of the mean node. There are two calculations of how Rahu Ketu are calculated. One is a true node position, one is a mean node position. I always give the degrees for the mean node. So there may be some variations of change of Rahu Nakshatra time. So, Rahu has been in Aries since April, but it was in Kritika Nakshatra. But now this is the first Nakshatra change. And Bharani is always regarded as a fierce Nakshatra. It is Devata is Yama. Sometimes people also think about it as a nakshatra for goddess Kali. However, Bharani is also very much about women power and women issues, and it is regarded as a nakshatra for the goddesses. Often you see during Bharani nakshatra days, people will go and visit the goddess temples. And there is a festival called Meena Bharani. Meena is Pisces, and Bharani, when Bharani nakshatra is there, when Sun is in Pisces. This is a special celebration of Meena Bharani in Kerala and maybe other parts of India as well. So, we have to think about this. Rahu's transit is also celebration of women energy and goddess energy. And because goddess Durga is the deity of Rahu, therefore, one of the ways of us to see that Rahu acts in a positive manner may be through worship of goddess during this time. So worship of Mother Goddess during this Rahu and Bharani transit, we can work through any Rahu issues that are there. Of course, the next eclipse that is taking place on 8th of November, that has Rahu in Bharani. And there is a Mars-Rahu conjunction of 1st of August, which has both Mars and Rahu in Bharani. So Bharani also is Devata is Lord Yama. And Lord Yama is the god of death, but he's also the god of dharma. He's called Dharmaraja. That means that following dharma, doing the right thing is very important during this transit. Now, Rahu is the disruptor in chief. So he wants you to go off your dharmic path and not to follow your duty, responsibility, detachment to things, and to doing the right thing, to following the code of dharma. And so this is something that we should be reminded about as Rahu goes in Bharani, not to give up our ethical good practices. Rahu is not going to conjoin with any planets except Mars during this transit. There will be a monthly conjunction of Moon with Rahu, which is common, but any other planets, even the faster moving planets, are not going to conjoin with Rahu in Bharani. So he's left very much on his own to do his own thing. And, we worship the mother goddess, we worship goddess Durga, we worship the correct path, ethical, right path, not try to deviate from it. There's always, sometimes we are have a sort of crisis of consciousness, and this is called dharam sankat. And during that time, we have to think carefully and not rush into anything, because Aries is a rush energy, and we have to think carefully and then make the right choice for ourselves at that time. Also, interestingly enough, Rahu in Bharani is the penultimate nakshatra for Rahu, because remember, when Rahu began its journey at 0 degrees of Aries, it retrograded back first into Revati nakshatra. So in a way, it fell straight into the deep sea without knowing how to swim, what to do. And then over the 18-year transit, it is going through all the nakshatras and coming into Bharani. And then it will be in Ashwini, the last nakshatra. And there is wisdom coming to Rahu as well. But wisdom for those who are prepared to embrace the wisdom, who have developed themselves. You will always see what people are scared about. Rahu in Bharani is violence and death and destruction. But you see, Bharani has a lot of shades. Don't just take that one nature of Bharani. But around the Mars-Rahu conjunction, we need to be careful on 1st of August. And then the eclipse on 8th of November is an eclipse, which is also on the day of the US election. So we do need to be careful around that, not to give in to any kind of violence or anger issues. But that is a lunar eclipse, and lunar eclipse also very quick to provocation. So you have to keep your calm. During these 2 dates, I would say most important. And you can also think about the goddess, the more divine power, the following the right path. And if you feel that you're being distracted or encouraged to give up your dharmic activities, then do slow down and take advice and calm down. Because Rahu itself is an air element. So he's very volatile, and therefore he can be encourage you. As I said, he's the lord of disruption, so he doesn't like convention. So sometimes unconventional stuff is very good, but sometimes, when we are doing things that go so off path, and Rahu can also bring anger issues. So be conscious of that during this transit. So how does it affect you? Now, in the nakshatras, as you've seen with the other nakshatra videos, I'm always looking at the moon nakshatra. So in this particular case, you look at the moon nakshatras. So if your moon is in Ashwini, Magha, Mula, then Rahu is in the second nakshatra from it. This is a positive energy. Rahu can help you create wealth and maybe concentrate on your wealth. Rahu being disruptive, don't try to take risks regarding money and financial aspects as well. For Bharani, Venus ruled nakshatras, Bharani, Purva Phalguni, Purva Ashada. This is a own sign transit. So although Bharani moon is where Rahu is, but all the other Venus nakshatras get affected, and Rahu is bringing some transformation, change for you, and especially watch the eclipse in November 8th. And but otherwise, you are wanting different things, you are desiring different things. Give yourself time to make the decision. Sun ruled nakshatras, Kritika, Uttara Phalguni, Uttara Ashada. This is a good transit for you. It is going to give opportunity, good luck, positive aspect for you. So this is good. Moon rule nakshatras again, that is Rohini, Hasta, Shravana. Rahu is in a good position for you, not creating too much disturbance, helping bring some opportunities for you. Now, Mars ruled nakshatra Rahu is creating a more difficult transit. And especially for Mrigasira, Mars is in Manasa nakshatra. And Manasa nakshatra is one of those difficult nakshatras where the mind is very unsettled. And Rahu is bringing all kinds of fear and anxiety for you. So Mrigasira nakshatra especially need to do some mantra practice, chanting for the goddess, doing some yoga, meditation, all those things, and also practicing positive thinking. Other Mars nakshatra, Chitra and Dhanishta, it is a disruptive energy for you, not the easiest. And Dhanishta, you're also getting Saturn's transit. So especially Dhanishta moon, this is a complicated transit for you. So important to do remedies. I would say Dhanishta and Mrigasira both will feel this transit more difficult. Mrigasira because it is Manasa nakshatra, Dhanishta because you're getting a double transit. Rahu ruled nakshatras Ardhara, Swati, and Shatabhishak. Now, Ardhara especially was getting Manasa while Rahu was in Kritika nakshatra. So Ardhara is actually heaving a sigh of relief because Rahu has moved out of the Manasa. So less thinking, more positive energy. And generally, Rahu is making a very good transit for you. Rahu is also a nakshatra lord, and Bharani is a good nakshatra for you, and positive aspects. And I would say many opportunities coming for you. Jupiter ruled nakshatras, Punavasu, Vishakha, and Purva Bhadra. This is not the best transits for you. It can be disruptive, and you can feel at different stages some obstacles coming your way. I think the obstacles, especially to remember Mars Rahu conjunction in August, and then the eclipse in November, which can be the potential aspect for you where you need to watch out for. Saturn ruled nakshatras, Pushya, Anuradha, and Uttara Bhadra. This is a great transit for you. Make an intention, decide this is the project I want to complete, and give Rahu a direction. Rahu, if he's directionless, he's more troublesome. But he's making a good transit. But for these Saturn nakshatras, they have to give Rahu a direction and get a lot accomplished during this time. But think also of certain spiritual accomplishments that you want to do. Maybe you want to do some japa, you want to do some practice. That will be also good for you. Mercury ruled nakshatras, that is Ashlesha, Jyeshta, and Revati. This is not the best transit for you. There can be some unexpected obstacles, difficulties. Rahu can take you off your dharmic path, So if you are being extra vigilant and conscious, then it is the best for you. So generally, because Rahu is the disruptor in chief, what we have to recognize is that we have to calm him down. He can also generally make a lot of dissatisfaction and, feeling unhappy with your current situation. So again, we want to see what are the blessings we have rather than what are the difficulties. And I'm going to end the video with the chanting for Goddess Durga and to evoke her blessings for us. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Om Sarva Mangal Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trambake Durge Narayani Namostute. Please bless us. Thank you.